The US had many allies, those who always stood with the US no matter what. But after China appeared as the US competitor, the US allies are slowly parting their ways with it. After India, Saudi Arabia also takes China's side and says it will ignore all its Western worries from now on. China's alliance has no doubt given confidence to the countries to stand against the US for the first time. But how did this happen? Mostly called as US's backyard, the Middle East says, it is no one's backyard anymore. This courage was non-existent before China surfaced as a new global leader. But how did China affect other nations' attitudes toward the US? This and many other questions need to be answered, and we will answer it all in today's video. Welcome back to another exciting episode of our channel. Innovation Diary brings you China's innovation stories, projects, and growing influence in different parts of the world. If you are new to the channel and enjoy learning about fast-paced modernity, especially China's development and growing power, you will find our videos intriguing. In this video, we will discuss the real reason behind Saudi Arabia's choosing China. We will also talk about the change in the Middle East's attitude toward the US after China's rise. Watch the video till the very end to understand how exactly China is shaping the US's influence for its good. Let's get started. The Middle East has recently taken a significant step on the global stage by announcing its intention to conduct a military exercise with China. This decision comes as a surprising move, especially considering the Middle East's status as a close military ally of the United States. However, it's important to recognize that the Middle East's actions highlight its determination to assert its sovereign interests and navigate the intricate dynamics of international diplomacy. Despite the long-standing military partnership between the Middle East and the US, the decision to engage in a joint military drill with China highlights the Middle East's quest for diversification in its alliances and partnerships. This move is a reflection of the UAE's desire to foster relationships beyond conventional boundaries, acknowledging that international relationships are not confined to a single partnership or sphere of influence. The US was not expecting this, but the shock was amplified when the Middle East said that it is not the US's backyard. It carries the profound message that the Middle East is an independent region with its strategic ambitions and interests. This perspective aligns with the broader evolution of global geopolitics, where countries are increasingly asserting their autonomy and recalibrating their allegiances to better navigate the complex landscape of international relations. The decision to collaborate with China, even amid its partnership with the US, demonstrates the Middle East's commitment to forging relationships that are based on mutual benefit and shared interests. By engaging in the joint military exercise, the UAE is signaling that it aims to balance its relationships in a manner that allows it to maintain its agency and make decisions in the best interest of its national security and development. In a rapidly changing world, where alliances and dynamics shift, the Middle East's move symbolizes its proactive approach to diplomacy. The Middle East's decision to hold a military drill with China underscores its recognition that international partnerships are multifaceted and can evolve to accommodate emerging global realities. This willingness to engage with a diverse range of partners reflects the Middle East's strategic maturity and its determination to carve out its path in the world of global affairs. The China-Middle East Falcon Shield 2023 is a special event where China and the Middle East will work together in the Air Force exercise. This event is important because it's the first time they are doing something like this. They are doing this in a place called Xinjiang in China. Xinjiang is far away in the northwest part of China. This event is a big deal because it shows that the Middle East is choosing to strengthen its friendship with China amid the US-China rivalry. By choosing Xinjiang as the place for this event, both China and the UAE are telling everyone that they can work together without any external pressure coming their way. This event is not just about practicing military things, it's also about showing that China and the Middle East are to become good partners. But why are the Gulf countries choosing China knowing it is the US rival? As the competition between two powerful countries, the United States and China, heats up on the global stage, the nations in the Gulf region are taking steps to expand their options and make new friends in the military realm. This is because these countries, often referred to as Gulf states, want to have more than just one partner when it comes to matters of defense and security. In recent times, the Middle East has started seeking out different countries to work with in terms of military cooperation, and China is their priority. Finding an ally is like trying out different teammates in a game to see which ones work best together. They have worked with the US for a very long time, and now they are sticking to China. China, a powerful country, is becoming more active in the Middle East. This means it's getting more involved and making its presence felt in the region. This change is significant because traditionally, the United States has been a major player in the Middle East, kind of like a captain of the team. But with China stepping up its involvement, it's like having a new player on the field. This situation creates a challenge for the United States. It's like a competition to see who can be the most helpful and influential in the region. The growing presence of China in the Middle East is shaking things up a bit. It's making the Gulf states think about their choices and consider working with China more than the US. The Middle East is making strategic shifts and is aiming to become the new Europe. And for that, it is holding China's hand. This shift has triggered the United States. Before we continue further, tell us, are you loving the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel for more videos about China's development, power, and influence on the world. Let's continue now. The Middle East goals make the US insecure. The US has set some rules and restrictions on what the Middle East can buy or receive in terms of military equipment and support. These restrictions have pushed the Middle East to explore other options beyond the United States for their military needs. However, their motivations for diversifying their sources of defense go beyond just getting what they need. The Middle East are smartly using these changes to their advantage. They are trying to create a balance between their relationships with the US and other countries like China. But they know working with China will make the US angry. But the Middle East is still leaning more towards China, saying that it is going to ignore its Western worries. Another important aspect is that China and the Gulf states are finding common ground beyond their relationships with the US. They both have interests in oil trade and economic collaboration. In the case of China and the Gulf states, it's their mutual interests in economic growth, trade, and partnership that are driving them to work closely together. The Middle East and China have found themselves aligned in common goals that carry significant implications for their economic and geopolitical futures. One of these shared objectives involves a process called de-dollarization. In addition to de-dollarization, China and the Middle East are showing a shared willingness to reshape the existing global order. They are essentially interested in creating a new way of organizing international relations and interactions among nations. This common ground between China and the Middle East is fostering a sense of unity and cooperation. While the US might express frustration or anger at these developments, it's important to note that such emotions may not yield any concrete benefits in the face of changing dynamics. The Middle East, as a region that has historically been influenced by the US, is taking steps to assert its interests and stance. It's like a decision to stand up for oneself rather than be dominated by external pressures. This assertiveness signifies a shift in the balance of power and a determination to no longer be subjected to external control. In this context, both China and the Middle East are not only expressing their intentions through words, but also through actions. The joint military exercises they are engaging in demonstrate their readiness to back their aims with concrete efforts. This is like showing their commitment to their shared goals by actively participating in activities that align with their aspirations. The convergence of goals between China and the Middle East is shaping new dynamics in the global arena. Their pursuit of de-dollarization and the vision of a new world order reflects a united front in challenging existing norms. The readiness of the Middle East to assert its autonomy and China's role as a global player amplify the impact of their collaboration. As these two regions work in harmony, their actions send a clear message of determination and a desire for positive change on the world stage. We would like to take a moment here and appreciate you all for commenting and sharing your opinions. Your insights always impress us. Do you think the joint military exercises between China and the Middle East represent a significant shift in global power dynamics? Do you think China and the Middle East can successfully create a new world order? Let us know in the comments section. Do you believe the Middle East's decision to strengthen ties with China, particularly amid the changing global landscape, is a strategic move that aligns with their long-term interests? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to get exclusive videos about how phenomenally China is developing and growing its influence over the world. Until the next video, stay tuned.